Construction and congestion on Bloor West tonight as the city begins installing some much-needed bike lanes for the community. This project has been years in the making, but some area businesses say the timing just isn't right. Given the devastating losses they've incurred during the course of the pandemic, they were hoping the city would push this back at least another month.
Finally, bikes on Bloor!
With 3,000 daily bike trips along this portion of Bloor West, cyclists have been waiting years for bike lanes. And today, the city started installing them, creating some congestion and chaos in the community.
It's a disaster.
How come?
There's no place to park.
But it is short-term pain for long-term gain.
It's really going to give people safe ways of getting around during a pandemic.
This construction will be complete in 2 to 3 weeks, and the new lanes will run from Shaw all the way to Runnymede. But it has sparked a bigger debate on how best to use the limited space in Toronto.
I just think during COVID, with this unprecedented time, it may not be the best immediate solution.
Some bars and restaurants were forced to pack up their new street-side patios to make room for the lanes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The owner of Civil Liberties was hoping he could at least hold on to the extra space until the end of the summer.
The more time we get, the better, particularly because we don't know what October is going to look like for any operators. So this was a great time to get our staff sort of working and try to recoup some of the horrific losses of the last few months.
His front patio, which had capacity for 30 people, increased his profits by 50%.
So closing that is quite scary.
BIAs in the area had already worked with the city to delay the installation until the end of this long weekend.
I understand that if things are postponed, there's also financial implications. So I think that was the best place that we could land on was the end of this weekend. In a perfect world, like I said, we would have loved more time.
For now, they are working to come up with creative solutions that will allow bars and restaurants to expand on the space they can hold on to, and are hopeful in the long run the lanes will bring more business to the community.
Again, when we put a bike lane in, businesses tend to do better. We've seen that bikes really do mean business.
These lanes will be an extension of bike lanes that were installed just east of Shaw on Bloor. And after those lanes were installed, Cycle TO tells us car-car conflicts dropped 71%, car-bike conflicts dropped 61%, and car-pedestrian conflicts dropped 55%. So it really helps everybody on the roads. Now, this construction will also only be using temporary materials like planters and paint to ensure that the design is adaptable.